Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, Jeeps here, your old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge. Decomposing your favorite songs. Fun song yesterday, huh? That Cheech and Chong. An earache my eye, but that was one of the most memorable riffs ever. How can you not say that? This morning, okay, we get back into it. We are doing Deftones' My Own Summer, because it's my own summer, your own summer. So I'm going to cycle back through it. I'm going to do some Behemoth. I just got to lay it on you, man. We're going to have a fun week this week. Anyhow, I want to thank you guys like usual for support. You guys know any advertisement you see on the video doesn't monetize the channel. If you'd like to support me, help me what I do also with the kids in the hospitals and stuff, buy me a cup of coffee. A link will be down below. A link will be down below for the headsets. Link will be down below for my Patreon. That's been really fun. That's been a fun experience for sure. And of course, the link will be down below for Deftones' My Own Summer. So let's do this. My Own Summer by Deftones. All right. Okay, this was really cool. There's a couple of really super cool things for me on this. Number one, the EQ and the engineering on the drums is absolutely crazy. That snare sound, so I don't think it's quite a piccolo snare. And for those of you who don't know and you're just listening, there's different sizes and snares. A little deeper, they're going to have, more of a boomier, rounder sound. And then the tighter it gets really more like pop, pop, and the pops get more intense in a little bit of the high end. Sometimes it's nicked as a funeral drum sound because it's just so tight and so small. Something else I noticed in the engineering with the drums too is when I'm listening to the hi-hat and I'm going, okay, hi-hats usually have their own mic, but it looks like it's really kind of hot in the overhead because a hi-hat has a very obvious kind of wide kind of sound to it. It's a nuance, but it's there, and it really got me in there. Now let's go into the riff. In a lot of the prog rock and the heavier metal stuff that I do, or all the subgenres, I get confused which ones it is. There's always, not always, but there's always. It seems to be that in a lot of the riffs there's a go back to the root. So in other words, in this case, an octave lower. So they're going down, up, down, and hitting that same note on the down. I think I've watched some other channels. They call that 01, 04. I think that's how people play it on tabs or something. But what I love about it is it opens up without the bass. Then the bass comes in, but the bass doesn't follow it in unison. Does not follow that riff in complete unison. It pedals the bottom, and then on the turn at the end of the phrase, while this is going back and forth. Then the vocal performances, it sounds like I've only done probably 4 or 5 Deftones, but the effect on the voice seems to be a go-to kind of signature thing. But that kind of haunting kind of melody and tone in which he's singing really pulls you in. But what I love is that they go into that next section, and first it's no vocals and they hammer down. You know, they're just all load up, hard left, hard right on the guitars. Then they come back into the riff, and then they load up on that sound again. I thought, well, where's the hook coming in? And finally the hook came in afterwards, and when it did, it was just absolutely huge. But I wanted to bring that up about the drums and stuff, so let me just go ahead and move back a little more. Wow, his screams are just from the bottom of every bit of hell. It just, he's got to be pulling out from under his feet to get that energy out there. But as I've come to know more of Deftones, that's one of his signature, things is that, which is still, as I continue my journey on this channel, absolutely amazing at the abilities of a lot of these lead singers here that actually go in and out of intensity. It doesn't have to be growl. It could be, I forgot which song that was that I did with Maynard in Tool, where he holds out that note just forever. Something else I want to talk about really quick is the actual structure of the song. Remember I was talking about where you've got this riff, and then the riff, he sings here, and then there's an open part, kind of, it sounds like a longer pre-chorus. Then he went back into another part of the verse, and then the pre-chorus, and then the hook. Then when he came into the second verse, and just that bass driving really kind of it was like a vortex, because they lit up so heavy with these great guitar tones and stuff like this. This great engineering, hard left, hard right, and stuff like that, that when it cuts down and just goes into the bass, all you have for a signature ambient sound is the drum kit. And then there's these little fluttery kind of soundscape things that are happening in the background. So I'm assuming at some point maybe there's an overdub there or something. Once again, I can't remember how many people are in the band, if there's actually a keyboard player or not. But then I really focused in on Chino's voice, and it's haunting, it's powerful, it's just absolutely epic. All right, stand by. Pew, pew. That was so cool. I had to go back into that riff and stuff, and earlier I'd said 0-1 and stuff like that, and I listened to it. So they weren't. It doesn't sound like they started off on an open string, because they had another note lower that they went to. That riff was absolutely crazy, and it's in my head, actually. It's just right now, it's and what makes that, that riff for me is, these are, it depends, I guess if that's so those are 16th, That's just the tempo of it. But for me, what really drives the power of it is when the drums are in half, is in the tempo in which the drums are playing. So I'm going to say that this was the tempo. You know, it's possible that this was the tempo, and the drummer was played in halftime. I guess he'd have to be there in the session, or how it is that they wrote it. But that, it's just, there's something about that rhythm, that beats per minute, with those kinds of arrangements, you know, where you have things that are happening in eighths and sixteenths, but there's just something about this driving, pounding. I'm going to say it's maybe 80 beats per minute or something like that. It just seems to log in, you know what I mean, to right here. It just seems, for me, just, I don't know if it's an association with heartbeat, kind of, it just keeps kind of grinding in there. Anyhow, guys, great way to start my week. Even though yesterday was the long weekend, it didn't feel like a Monday, but today is Tuesday. Deftones here with My Own Summer. Thanks for hanging out. Got really fun going back this whole week. This whole week I'm going back. Like I said, I got Mastodon. I'm gonna see if I can't pull in some Obscura. I might do my very first lyrical breakdown, you know, and that would be really super cool. So anyhow, guys, thanks so much for your support. Cup of coffee, headsets, songs, Patreon, everything, links down below. Great way to start your day. Great way to start your summer with My Own Summer. I just yabber dabber. All right, take care. Aloha. All right.